Alright guys, so focus for the day, we're going to look at some handstand mobility. So a little bit of prep to do before if you're working on handstands at home or headstands or anything hand balancing. What we're going to start with is just warming the wrists up. So to begin with, just hands together and just circles. Alright, just forcing your way through it, trying to get the hands together, just get them moving, try and get them warm, loosened off. You can do 30 seconds, or if you want to count the circles, go for it. But I'd recommend 30 to 45 seconds, just changing direction. Yeah, it's a bit confusing. And then when you're ready, just relax. Second one, we're going to do some lifts again. So it's getting used to actively gripping the floor, working through it. So hands on the floor, we're going to come into a forward lean as far as we can. And then just pushing lightly down through our hands each time. So a little active push as we get into our deepest lean. If it's too painful, just easy pressure out of it. So just lift up with your hands. If it feels fine and you're quite confident, keep your hands pressing down and just work on a little bit of strength there, getting things firing off. So again, if you're feeling a bit weak, a bit stiff, just nice and gentle with it, build into it. If not, go for it. Try and grip the floor and press for your fingers. Remember, in the handstand, your hands should be active. So your fingers are going to help you recover and pull back that balance, especially for the balance. A little bit different when you're walking, but when you're trying to hold a handstand for balance, your fingers are active in the floor and actually help grip and pull back and recover the positions. So last one. Just work on the tops of forearms a bit to recover. Cross your hand over, hand on the back. And we're just going to pull back and hold a stretch for about 20 seconds as far as we can. Right? So just hand facing down, thumb to the floor, cross the other hand over, pull back, keep the elbow locked. Should feel a nice big stretch down the top of the forearm. Then we're going to get the shoulder work. So first one, I'm going to use some yoga blocks to work on. If you want, you can use a stick here as well. It's up to you. So we'll start off just my hands, and then I might progress it to a stick depending on how it feels. So we'll start lying down. If you guys haven't got yoga blocks, just use books. If you haven't got books, just get some bricks, steal some rocks. Head down, squeeze your bum nice and tight, and the first thing I want you to work on is just lifting your belly here off the floor. So just that rounding of the hips, pull my belly up nice as high as I can. I'm not sticking my butt back. I'm trying to suck in nice and tight and almost go the opposite way into a sort of hollow body dish shape. Right. From there, once you've got that tension, you've lifted, don't get it by pushing your head on the floor either. You're not in the head of the floor. Just keep your head neutral, nice and relaxed as you do it. We're locking nice and tight, and similar to what we did on the foam roller, we're just going to try to lift one arm at a time. If that feels alright, we're going to try and lock in that shape and lift both. As you lift both, I'm going to focus on pressing your hands towards the wall. So try to make ourselves as long as possible. So from there, I'm going to lift and press, squeeze nice and tight, try and keep that shape. Oh, and relax. So to start with, I'll just go for max holds. Alright? As you lift your arms up as high as you can, you're just trying to hold for 3 to 5 seconds. And just to practice that handstand shape. It's also trying to encourage your shoulders to come back into the right position, build that strength so that they won't just start bending your back or coming in all sorts of different shapes as you go up into a handstand. It's going to make it much easier and more familiar to get into that lock shape nice and tight. With a stick, it's not all that different, but you might find it a little bit more comfortable. So, what I would recommend is using the yoga blocks to prop the stick up and have your hands where it would roughly be in your handstand, so roughly shoulder width. From there, getting the same sort of tension, arms stretched out, shoulders up by your ears. Get the belly off the floor and then lift as high as you can. So you can see straight away I'm struggling to get that lift off. If it's too high, just drop it down, potentially even just go from the floor. Again, which is a different way of doing it to try and get your hands in that, so they're already in the right position. So from there, lock in, lift, hold, here and try and pull them back again. Work on keeping that shape, that tension throughout your core, as you do. Alright, so it's not easy at all. It requires a lot of tension, a lot of focus. It's going to be quite frustrating at first, but it's one of the ones that will make a big difference, especially when you're doing handstand wall balances. It'll start becoming far more familiar, the tension, the shape you need to get. Also, it means when you're there, you can play with from that elevated position if you need to, because your hands are already up, elevated above your head. Just if you're stuck here, just drive them up as high as you can. Keep your head down. Come back, lock them out, squeeze your bum, drive up high as you can, behind your head, back down. So once you've got that platform set up, you can just have a play and do what you need to, just to get used to being comfortable in that shape. So next one. This one you can add a bit of variation into. You'll need an elevated platform, doesn't matter what you use. Height doesn't really matter either too much. You'll start off your knees tucked, right? Hands in under your shoulders. From there you're going to drive your bum up as high as you can, and then push your head back through as far as you can and come back down. So this is good because it's going to do two things at once. It's going to stretch your hamstrings and going to help you get used to being in that position of getting stacked for a handstand. But what main focus is for this one, what you're trying to focus on for now is pushing your head through your shoulders as far as you can to feel that stretch between your shoulder blades. Yeah. So for all them, whichever variation you do, whatever you're playing with, I'll try and hit about 8 to 12 reps, alright? For 2 to 3 rounds. It's dead easy, dead quick, but if you do it enough frequently, you will start to see a big change and your shapes and patterns will start to improve. That's it for today, guys. Just dead short, dead sweet, something you can add into your handstand warm-ups or work on daily just before the end of a workout. Have a little play with to try and build the confidence so that when you come back to the gym, you're going to be more comfortable playing around with handstands. Alright, see.